Time Warner Cable is pleased to be an underwriting sponsor for Carolina Week.
Coming up on the January 26th edition of Carolina Week.
Grades at UNC are going up, but have students earned those high marks?
I'm Jason Kahn. Find out why our campus is one of the safest campuses in North Carolina.
In sports, it had been 7 years since the women's basketball team lost 3 in a row.
Weathercaster Corey Davis will be here with your Carolina Week 4-day forecast.
All that and a couple of talented Tar Heels in the national spotlight. Carolina Week starts right now.
From the James F. Goodman Studio in the School of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, connecting campus and community, this is Carolina Week.
What does a grade of A represent at UNC? Hello, I'm Bethany.
And I'm Chris Neal. Does it mean excellent command of the subject? Some people say it can't mean that because too many students get A's. Walter Storholt has been looking into grade inflation on campus and says that A doesn't necessarily mean you stand out from the crowd here at Carolina.
Report cards at UNC are something to write home about. A report from the Faculty Council shows that Carolina students are earning more A's than B's, but some say that's not a true reflection of the student body's academic effort. University of North Carolina professor of economics Boone Tershi says there is grade inflation on campus.
To grade leniently, it does a couple of things. One, it makes students feel better about him or her. It also reduces the amount of work the faculty member has to do as far as teaching.
The Faculty Council's report shows that in the fall of 2000, 77% of grades were A's or B's. In the fall of 2007, that number jumped 5%. But not everyone agrees this is about grades being padded. Professor Tom Carsey explains how the grading scale works in his state government class with more than 150 students.
I don't grade with a specific curve in mind. I don't guarantee, a certain number of A's and B's and C's along the way. Every student gets whatever grade they earn. If they all earned A's, I'd give them all A's. So far, I haven't had a class that's done that.
So could it be that UNC just has an academically hardy undergraduate class? The 1995 class profile shows that the average SAT score for incoming freshmen was 1142 points out of 1,600. In 2007, the incoming students scored an average of 1302 out of 1,600 points in the critical reading and math sections of the exam. That's a 14% jump in SAT scores in that 12-year time period. Grade point averages have gone up as well in that same time frame, but not as much. In 1995, students took home an average GPA of 2.976. In 2007, the average jumped to 3.2. That's a 7.5% increase. Side by side, that means in that time period, SAT scores for admitted students rose nearly twice as much as the average GPA did. So are professors padding grades, or are students just smarter? There are no plans for the university to take up this issue anytime soon, but don't let that stop you from studying hard. In Chapel Hill, I'm Carly Swain, Carolina Week.
Some departments have significantly higher GPAs than others. In the coming weeks, we'll be looking at who hands out the easy A's. But you can go ahead and eliminate my professors from that group.
Carolina's breaking records again. It's the university's best, and it's not in athletics. The university received more than 13,000 applications, accepting about 4,900. Sarah Moran, a junior in high school, is considering applying early next year to limit her options. Ashley Memory, the assistant director of admissions, says the economy is a big reason for the 4-year spike in applications. Sarah and her mom say that will be a factor for them too.
Some students aren't coming to us, but are getting ready to leave. Attention seniors, graduation is just around the corner. The last day to apply for spring commencement is February 13th. Caps and gowns will be available to purchase either online or at student stores beginning in late April. Graduation announcements are also available online, but don't wait until the last minute because shipping can take from 2 to 3 weeks.
Seniors and all other students want campus to be safe. We're joined by Jason Kahn. Jason, how much should we be concerned about our safety?
Well, Bethany, let's put it this way. After several life-threatening situations in the past few years, it's apparent that we should all be cautious at all times. On any ordinary day, people fill the pit hoping to relax. But March 3rd, 2006 wasn't an ordinary day.
I just hit several people with the vehicle.
The lives of many students changed in an instant, among them Elisa Extencamper.
For a lot of us, after the pit incident, we really had reason to question our safety. And I remember walking around campus and whenever I would see a car, even near campus, I was just afraid.
Extencamper luckily escaped being hit by the car driven by UNC alumnus Mohammed Taheri Azar. Since that horrific day, bollards are regularly placed in front of various entrances to campus. But is that enough? Safety and Security Chairman Andy Rickelman told me the committee heard from people suggesting that officials bar all vehicles from campus, even those as small as this golf cart. But Rickelman says the committee reviewed that possibility and disagree with it because it would keep emergency and service vehicles from entering.
For a campus of this size, Chapel Hill is one of the safer campuses in the United States.
But Department of Public Safety Chief Jeff McCracken says unexpected acts of violence cannot be prevented.
Our goal then would be response and to put an end to whatever the act is as quickly as possible.
And Rickelman says it's the best we can do.
Unfortunately, it takes catalysts like the pit incident to really look back over our policies and figure out where we've got to go from there.
Extencamper no longer walks in fear on campus, but she knows her life could always be in danger.
I think it's just the reality of living in our world today that, we're really not safe anywhere.
2 years ago, Extencamper didn't think about safety much. Then again, people typically don't. Now, Extencamper is one of about 15,000 students that are registered with Alert Carolina, which allows students to receive text messages in the midst of an emergency situation.
Jason, would you say that crime is a problem at UNC?
Well, you know what, Bethany, that actually depends. Most crimes on campus are misdemeanors, but the most recent crime report, which just came through our email, tells us that there are 22 cases of larceny and 9 cases of vandalism. DPS rarely receives crimes that are known as violent.
Thanks so much, Jason.
Off-campus, Chapel Hill Town Council member Matt Chakowski is proposing a ban on panhandling on Franklin Street within 15 feet of any business's front door. Chapel Hill already prohibits panhandling within 20 feet of a bank or ATM machine and within 6 feet of a bus stop. The 15-feet rule would effectively ban panhandling in all of downtown Chapel Hill, ridding Franklin Street of beggars, advertisers, and promoters. But Spanky's Day manager Aaron Barr doesn't know just how effective the ban would be.
I know definitely some customers have felt a little bit uncomfortable, especially since Spanky's has so many windows around looking at the homeless and the panhandlers. But I don't know if a ban's really going to help it. It just kind of seems like a Band-Aid on the problem.
The town council has agreed to take up this matter at its planning retreat scheduled for February 20th. And Bethany, spring break is only about 6 weeks away.
But there might not be a spring break for cash-strapped students.
I'm Mackenzie Harris. Students are starting to plan spring. I'm Mackenzie Harris. Students are starting to plan spring break, but is the economy causing them to think twice?
You know, washing your clothes in cold water instead of hot uses 90% less energy.
I know.
Do you know where your change goes when you give it to panhandlers? The Spare Change from Real Change initiative takes the money you give away and uses it to make a real change for the homeless population. So the next time you want to get rid of that extra weight in your pocket, find a can in any local establishment and help end homelessness in Chapel Hill.
vacation some students look forward to most, but this year's spring break might not include an extravagant trip. Carolina Week's Mackenzie Harris has the story.
With snow last week, you might be surprised that some students are thinking of spring break that is. And while the hot sun and sandy beaches are the ideal spot for many, the current recession is making others think twice about their plans. UNC junior Ann Powell says she just can't afford to travel this year.
Hate to really spend a ton of money over spring break and then just be wiped out for the summer.
Powell says that while she would enjoy the time with her friends, she doesn't feel it's worth the money.
It's always one of those things where it might be a little overrated anyway. You end up being really tired and coming back to school and not really feeling like you had a break.
The average college student spends $1,000 on spring break, a statistic Powell says puts the recession in perspective.
You don't really think every day that you hear all this stuff on the news, but you don't really think it directly affects you, but it does.
TravelLink American Express doesn't have any college students in here now, and the people here say it's been like this the past few weeks.
TravelLink agent Sadell Schneider says she has yet to book a single student for spring break.
It comes out of their parents' pockets, and they're already paying for books and food and dormitories and education. I'm sure that if push came to shove, the parents would go before the kids would.
Schneider, like Powell, says the current recession is a bummer for everybody.
Yes, it's a twofold. Feel sorry for them. I feel sorry for them, and I feel sorry for us at the same time.
And there's little chance things will improve in time for spring break. In Chapel Hill, I'm Mackenzie Harris, Carolina Week.
There are always cheaper options. Students can stay in hostels or take a train or bus to their destination of choice.
If you plan to spend your spring break in downtown Raleigh or Durham, buses will provide a new, faster method of transportation that's also free. New bus routes named circulators will begin in areas where street parking is scarce. Officials say that during the week it will be less than a 10-minute wait for the next bus. The route in Durham includes government buildings, the Durham Balls Park, and the downtown hotels. Raleigh's version will hit points like the Convention Center and Glenwood Avenue. More than 90 teams are participating in the Carolina Challenge this year, a business plan competition. UNC students are discussing their ventures at home and over lunch with teammates and advisors. The goal is to support innovative business ideas, and those with the best plans will split $50,000. Last year, Irina Maksimith's team won the second place prize. The team's idea was to make fraternity houses environmentally friendly. This time, she proposes that Americans travel to Ukraine for their dental services.
My mother did it 2 years ago. She saved about $8,000 and no problems with her teeth. Everything's great, and she recommends it.
On Tuesday, the teams are planning to meet and discuss their business plans. So if $50,000 sounds good to you, 12 teams are looking for members.
Looking for another opportunity on campus that might increase your self-confidence and introduce you to new perspectives? How about a semester abroad? Students learned about UNC's more than 320 programs which are held throughout 71 countries at the Study Abroad Fair on Friday. Past participant Matthew Millot said his study abroad in Singapore changed his life.
One of the greatest benefits is I'm not afraid to step out of where I am. I feel like I have a lot more self-confidence knowing that.
37% of Carolina students now study abroad, the highest percentage rate of any public research university.
And we're joined now by weathercaster Corey Davis.
Now, Corey, I hear that we're going to have to trade our snow boots for rain boots.
That's right. Well, we didn't see any rain today, but with those cool temperatures and breezy winds, you probably needed a coat for a walk around campus. Coming up, I'll tell you when you need to add an umbrella to the mix.
I'm big enough to brush my teeth by myself. I'm the tallest kid in my class. I haven't worn diapers in years. I'm much less likely to vomit at random now. My cups don't have lids anymore. Mine either. I'm getting pretty big. But to help me survive a car crash, I still need you to give me a boost.
Until they're 4'9", use a booster seat in the car and don't let them down.
Los peces del lago Crabtree y Briar Creek contienen productos químicos llamados PCB que son muy peligrosos para tu salud. Por eso, cada vez que pesques, siempre devuelve los peces al lago. No te olvides. Para más aclaración, llama a la línea de información y referencia al siguiente número o visita la siguiente página. Gracias.
Global warming. Some say irreversible consequences are 30 years away. 30 years? That won't affect me.
Welcome back to Carolina Week. I'm forecaster Corey Davis, and if we take a look at our weather headlines, you'll see that after a brisk day today, we're looking forward to another cool night ahead tonight. Those temperatures will be dropping down to near freezing again. And as we head through the day tomorrow, be sure to keep an eye on the sky or maybe out the window because we will have some rain moving in. That'll last us through a few days this week. And if all this cool weather and rain just doesn't please you, well, we might have a midweek warm-up. I'll get to that a little bit later, but first let's take a look at the national satellite. This shows you pretty well who's getting what right now across the country. Of course, the blue color up across the Midwest is showing where snow is coming down, and there are winter storm watches and warnings up in Ohio, Indiana, and Illinois. So those folks are expecting several inches of snow from this system. A little bit further south over Oklahoma and Arkansas, some freezing rain is falling, but right here over North Carolina, we're seeing nothing more than some passing clouds. Here in the Triangle, we've even seen some clearing skies at times today. No rain associated with this, and if we look at the surface map, we see why. There is a high pressure system to the southeast just off our coast, and that means that we're staying clear and dry, at least for now. But look over Texas. There's some rain moving up and a low pressure system behind that. And as we head into the day tomorrow, that system is going to race across the country to the east, and that rain is going to come in tomorrow morning. We're expecting it sometime after rush hour, probably 9 or 10 o'clock. Now later on in the day, a warm front will be moving up from the south, and just like it sounds, it'll be bringing in some warm air for Wednesday. That's what's going to help warm us up a little bit during the day on Wednesday, but don't get too used to it because by the time Thursday gets here, we'll get smacked by that cold front. Oh, and it's going to be rainy and cold again for the rest of the week. Well, let's take a look at your forecast for tonight. Again, those clouds will be moving in, and it'll be chilly here in the Triangle. Low temperatures will make it down 34 or 35 degrees depending on your location. As we head through the day tomorrow, again, in the morning we're expecting that rain to begin to move in. We won't warm up too much, only baking it up to the mid-40s in the Triangle. We'll call it a 60% chance of rain during the day tomorrow, but the best chance is coming on Tuesday night and then also on Wednesday. And if we look at your 4-day forecast, we see that there's that chance of rain lingering through the middle of the week. It'll taper off by the end of the week as that rain moves out, but also will cool off later on. Again, look at that on Wednesday. We'll make it up to almost 60 degrees, drop off 10 degrees the next day, and another 4 or 5 degrees by Friday, with only a slight chance of rain left then. And those temperatures will be dropping. The low on Thursday night is 30 degrees, so it'll be pretty chilly. Be sure to keep that coat handy, and you'll need an umbrella too.
Great, Corey. So no chance for snow this week.
That's right. It's going to be cold, but just not cold enough for snow.
Oh, that's a bummer. I was hoping to miss class again.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Corey.
In these tough economic times, businesses are looking for anything to help them out. One deli is keeping sales hot with a hot dog. Neil's Deli of Carborough is not trying to be one of the victims of the current economic struggle, and a new creation is motivating customers to reach for their wallets. The Obama dog, created by Neil and inspired by the President of the United States, Barack Obama, is helping this small-town deli stay alive. It's a hot dog topped with peppers and pineapples to signify Obama's homeland of Hawaii, and Neil hopes it remains popular.
That'd be great if it did. But, you know, eventually it'll be springtime and everybody's happy and goes out more in the spring anyway. So if we can ride this wave until the spring, it'd be great.
You know, they should really start selling those at our sporting events here on campus.
I definitely sure would like that, and I'm sure sportscaster Kate Howard would as well.
Well, I like pineapples and peppers, but I don't know about on a hot dog. Coming up in sports, we'll introduce you to the splits and spandex of professional wrestling in the Triangle area.
The fish at Lake Crabtree and Briar Creek contain PCB chemicals that are very dangerous to your health. So catch and release every time you fish. For more information, call 919-707-5900 or check the webpage.
What do you get when you cross a soprano with a cardiologist? Someone who'll sing their heart out. Just what they're doing at a local community theater. See, the Sopranos Choir and the Cardiologist Hospital contacted their community coalition and started a children's theater. They knew busy kids are less likely to try drugs. And that's music to everyone's ears. What can your group do? Contact your community coalition at helpyourcommunity.org. Because you get more
when you get together. Okay, guys, time for takeoff. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off! Wow! Whoa, look at that! Is that Jupiter?
Hey kids, it's time to go to the planetarium.
Moorhead Planetarium, where dreams become reality.
They say third time's a charm, but the women's basketball team can't seem to get out of its slump. Ranked number 2 in the nation, the Tar Heels lost their third straight game Sunday night in Terp territory. The Heels, sporting pink uniforms and warm-ups in honor of the late Kay Yao, couldn't stop number 12 Maryland. Jessica Breland had 18 points, while Italy Lucas and Satara de Graffenried contributed 13 each. The Heels lost 77-71, and this marks the team's worst losing streak in 7 years. Fans packed Fetzer Gym as UNC's wrestling team took on Virginia this weekend. Carolina's Vincent Ramirez, ranked number 18, defeated number 19 Nick Nelson 9-3 in the 141-pound weight class. 16th ranked Keegan Mueller overcame a scrappy opponent at the 165 to push the Tar Heel lead to 16-3. The Tar Heels went on to defeat the Cavaliers 23-29. In the Oscar-nominated film The Wrestler, Mickey Rourke plays a veteran professional wrestler on a career decline. Carolina Week went into the backyard rings of North Carolina to meet the next generation of amateurs on the rise. Jennifer Carpenter has the story.
Power Pro Wrestling is a Saturday night special at the cinema at Kindale. To underground wrestlers, it's a hotspot for rising stars on the independent wrestling circuit. In fact, you can find more than 70 of these promotions throughout the state.
Power Pro Wrestling, to the sport of professional wrestling, is like the minor leagues of baseball.
These local wrestling circuits are the lifeline for national promotions like TNA or the WWE. Any wrestler who's made it to the big time started in a ring like this.
In high school, I skipped prom, become wrestler. People think I'm nuts for that.
Ty Tyson is 19 years old. Next year, he'll juggle college life at UNC Pembroke with his commitment to Power Pro Wrestling.
It's something I love to do, and I'm willing to give up anything for it.
Ever since I was born with knee pads on. So ever since then, I guess I've just been addicted to it.
Trevor Riddell, better known as the American Dragon, is a sophomore in high school. He and Ty Tyson have come to Power Pro to condition and learn moves. They're well aware of the professional wrestling legacy the town of Sanford has.
You know, we've had over 12 athletes that have entered into professional wrestling just in this area alone. Without us, there's no place that these guys can go to hone in their skills and prepare for that next level of success.
Like any athlete hoping to turn pro, Ty Tyson and the American Dragon face incredible odds. They risk injury against wrestlers twice their size and half their skill.
Really, it's about who wants it more. I won't matter about the size. I'll just come in here, do what I gotta do, and come out victorious.
They compete in unregistered competitions inside unregulated rings.
I'm gonna be a pro wrestler, so pretty much here I am.
They sacrifice a typical teenage life for a shot at stardom.
But really, this is my dream, just to make it to the big time. just doing whatever that involves wrestling.
And they wouldn't have it any other way. In Sanford, I'm Jennifer Carpenter, Carolina Week.
Ty Tyson plans to audition for the WWE at the end of the summer. The American Dragon has to wait until he's 18. The 20th ranked Carolina men's tennis team opened up its dual match season with a doubleheader Sunday. In the front end, 73rd ranked Clay Donato overpowered Charlotte's Ricky Cular in straight sets 6-1, 6-3 as the Heels took down UNC Charlotte by a count of 5-2. In the nightcap, Carolina shut out James Madison 7-0. The singles match of the day pitted 53rd ranked Taylor Fogelman against JMU's Jared Robinson. On this point, Fogelman won a grueling second set 7-5. The 18th ranked women's tennis team kicked off its 2009 season with a doubleheader Saturday. Their opponents, UNC Greensboro and Gardner-Webb. The Heels duo of Sanaz Morand and Sophie Grabinski cruised to an 8-4 victory in the #1 doubles match. The rest of the Tar Heels were just as dominant, shutting out UNC Greensboro 7-0. The track and field teams hosted the Eddie Smith and Joe Smith Classic Saturday. On the women's side, junior sprinter Venetia Ivy picked up a pair of personal records in the 60-meter dash and the 60-meter hurdles. For the men, Parker Smith captured the lone first place in the pole vault. The track and field squad will stay in Chapel Hill this weekend to host the Texas Roadhouse Carolina Classic. And while it was a sad weekend in sports for Kay Yao and NC State.
Yes, definitely. And our thoughts are definitely with her and her family, as well as all of her friends over at NC State this weekend. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Kate.
Well, Bethany, not everyone can be famous like us.
That's right, Chris, but coming up, we'll show you 2 other Tar Heels who are making it big on the small screen.
Hey, there are a lot of ways we can help our community. Spending our money in Orange County, whether it's filling up the car or shopping at local businesses, helps maintain our roads, improves our children's schools, and creates jobs. Spending your money locally helps us all in a big way. So remember, shop Orange first.
If you have a story idea, contact Carolina Week at 843-8292. You can also visit us online at carolinaweek.org. If you have questions about this program, write Carolina Week at Campus Box 3365, UNCCH, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, 27599.
Think you have what it takes to become the next American Idol? Well, for one UNC grad student, it's much more than just a pipe dream. Former Clefhanger Anoop Desai is enjoying his 15 minutes of fame after appearing on the Fox TV show. A master's student studying folklore, Desai is impressed Idol judges with Boyz II Men's Thank You. February 3rd marks the start of the next round. Clefhanger members and alumni are planning a viewing party at Players on February 4th.
And another famous Tar Heel?
From the state where Babe Ruth hit his very first home run, I want to hit it out of the park tonight. I'm Amanda Watson, Miss North Carolina.
Many students on campus don't know the young lady who represented the Tar Heel State in the Miss America pageant this weekend. Amanda Watson, a senior music major from Raleigh, won Miss North Carolina on her first try. Even though she was eliminated in the first round of the Miss America pageant, she returned home to proud family and friends and will finish up her year as Miss North Carolina.
Yeah, well, Bethany, with an American Idol participant and Miss America pageant participant, it's good to see some Tar Heels getting some national recognition.
That's right, and who knows, maybe you'll see us on CNN someday.
Maybe, I hope so.
That does it for this edition of Carolina Week.
Thank you so much for watching. Have a good night.